When in the world is the Fed going to lower interest rates? Let's talk about it. What's going on? It's your brother, your uncle, your favorite realtor's favorite realtor, Marvin, coming to you with another video today. So today we're talking money. And as of this recording, Rome, otherwise known as Jerome Powell, just had a meeting to discuss what he's going to do with interest rates. Unfortunately, he's decided to leave the Fed funds rate unchanged. What does this mean for us as real estate professionals? I'm going to break this down over the course of this video. So you definitely want to stay till the end. But essentially, the Fed funds rate is the barometer that mortgage lenders and banks use to determine how much to charge you and I as far as interest rates on cars, homes, so on and so forth. So what we were all hoping and praying for, especially as real estate professionals, is that Jerome Powell and company will go ahead and lower interest rates. Unfortunately, he did not do that, and I did talk about that on a previous video, which I'll link in the description of this video. The Fed is going to meet again in June, and at that point, that will be another opportunity for interest rates to potentially be lowered. Some of the factors that are going into this decision not to lower interest rates today are as follows. Jerome Powell is strongly committed to seeing inflation go down to 2%. And the reason being is that they like to leave roughly a 2% buffer to move the Fed funds rate in either direction. And once that happens, then at that point, he will be confident we can bring down interest rates and keep them lower for the foreseeable future. He did mention on the Fed meeting today that his target is 3 rate cuts in 2024. None of those rate cuts have happened. So that leaves us with a couple more months left in 2024 that it could happen. Next time that the Fed is going to meet is going to be in June. And then shortly after that, they'll meet again sometime around November. My hope and my prayer is, especially for consumers that are hurting right now with the current interest rate market, is that they go ahead and do it before November so the political climate at the time doesn't affect the optics around the decision to lower interest rates. What I'm telling my buyer and seller clients at this point, and a conversation you may want to start having with your buyer and seller clients, is as follows. For buyers, you definitely want to encourage them that if they are in a financial position now to purchase a home, go ahead and look into doing that, because lots of sellers, including new construction builders, are offering cash at the closing table in order to buy down your interest rate. So what that will do is essentially give you the ability to mimic payments that will reflect a much lower interest rate, as the seller has decided to bring cash to the table to buy down that interest rate. We honestly have no way of knowing if interest rates will ever go down to the pandemic lows, but unfortunately, a lot of buyers have friends and family members that are enjoying a 2 and 3% interest rate. So their logic is, if I just wait this thing out, I'm going to get what my friends and my family got at a 2 or 3% interest rate, and that's when I'm going to buy a house. What these individuals are not realizing, unfortunately, is that the factors that went into interest rates being that low, our world was so incredibly different at that point that banks all over the world were bringing interest rates in their respective areas down to 0. So that's why we saw interest rates at that 2 and 3%. That is not going to happen barring another global crisis. And what these individuals don't realize is that that's going to open up another problem if interest rates did get down that low or even close to that, is that now the competition is going to step up and there's going to be more individuals fighting for less homes. I'm encouraging my buyer clients that yes, payments are going to be a little bit higher in this season than, let's say, this time last year. But if you can comfortably afford it, let's move forward, because ultimately you will always have the ability to refinance at a later date. Now, what am I telling my seller clients? I'm telling my seller clients, hey, look, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, yes, you've got a 2 and 3% interest rate. It's going to be hard to let go of that if you're looking to upgrade. At the end of the day, you're ready to sell or you need to sell. It may cost you to wait. I have no earthly idea what's going to happen in the next 6 to 12 months. What I do know is that you've got a healthy amount of equity, aka cash, that you're sitting on that puts you in a very strong position to wait this thing out. You could decide to sell and rent for the next year and see where the market is at that point. But keep in mind that equity is subjective. The several $100,000s of equity that you may have right now could vanish in an instant if the market changes. For me, if I were a seller, yes, I'm paying a 2 and 3% interest rate, but I also have money sitting behind my walls that I can liquidate through the sale of my home and use that cash to purchase another property. So if you're ready to buy, go ahead and buy. If you're ready to sell, go ahead and sell. Now, for my real estate professionals, continue to stay in the pocket. Take bullet points from this conversation that should help you in your conversation with your buyer clients. Get an idea and a feel for what's going on with them. Of course, as our industry is potentially changing due to the NAR settlement, the urgency to have these conversations with your buyer clients is definitely there. Don't wait, don't hesitate. start having more conversations with these clients, letting them know what's going on with the news today and how that could potentially affect them as a buyer and a seller client. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts on where interest rates are presently. Do you think that Jerome and company will go ahead and lower interest rates in June or sometime later in the year? They said that they're definitely going to do 3 rate cuts in 2024. So let's see when and how that happens. And if you want to watch more videos from this channel, go ahead and click one of these 2 videos here. And until the next one, this is your brother, your uncle, your favorite realtor's favorite realtors. Hey, if you made it this far in the video and you are a real estate professional, consider partnering with me here at Real Brokerage. Pay nothing per month, get a fantastic split, and you have the opportunity to build a business through revenue share and stock purchases. Book a call at the link below in today's video, and I'm happy to have a conversation on why I was able to grow my business exponentially by moving my practice to Real Brokerage.